Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a full body flexibility practice. I'm going to use my bolster, my cushion just a little bit today. Find some space to move for sure though, and let's get started. So let's begin today laying down, and if you want to lay on a pillow, you can. Or you can lay flat on your back. And then for our legs today, of course you can do what you would like. Maybe you'll be making a diamond shape with your legs. Maybe you'll keep your legs out long. Or if you want to join me with your knees bent and heel-toeing your feet out wide and then letting the knees tip in. You might turn your toes in slightly as well. Maybe feeling a little inward rotation through the hips. Resting your arms at your sides, maybe the palms facing up. And maybe you've got to make some more adjustments to how you're laying right now. But once you've decided where you want to be, I'm going to stay here for just a few moments. Starting to let go of your day. Slow down. Just giving yourself a chance to relax. Now, if you do have your knees falling together, you might just open them up and maybe turn your toes to point out a little. So our knees are kind of falling out wide a little. Our feet are out wide. You can let the knees tip open a little more, a little more. Just staying as you are for another breath or two. And then you can start to bring everything back in a little closer together. The feet, the knees, your arms if they're out a little wide. If you are laying on top of a pillow, sit up just enough to take it out, slide it off to the side, come back, lay down on your back, flat. Maybe hugging your knees in towards your chest, or just be still, or sway, or keep your feet on the ground in any sort of order. Now we are going to be coming up to seated. So either roll to one side or rock forwards, but find your way up. Once you get there, you might give your knees a hug, maybe take a sway side to side. We're going to be bringing our feet about mat width apart. You might keep your knees bent to start, but we're going to be trying to tip forwards a little bit. So you can keep your knees nice and bent. You could send your legs out nice and long, maybe pointing your toes up. So maybe your feet are mat width apart or somewhere like that. Bring some length into your spine and then maybe taking a tip forwards. Maybe walking your fingertips down your legs or between your legs. If you are tipping forwards from here, let an inhale bring you back up. Long spine. We're going to bend our knees again if you did lengthen them. So keeping our feet maybe mat width apart, you can start to lean back. We're going to let our knees tip over towards the left side. See if you can keep your feet where they are on the edges of your mat maybe as you try to lower your knees to the ground. You can let your knees start to lift up. Maybe the feet can stay where they are, nice and wide, as you tip your knees over to the other side, slowly letting the knees move towards the ground. Maybe they get there, maybe they don't. And then letting your knees lift again. So we're going to keep our feet about mat width apart. We're going to lean forwards again, trying to bring our elbows between the knees. Or you can find the full chicken wing shoulder opener by bringing your left hand to your side with your palm facing out and then tucking your elbow into your knee. And you can do both arms at the same time. Your hands are either on your sides or in front of you, elbows trying to find their way between the knees. You might feel this all the way from your fingertips to the tops of your shoulders, maybe even down your spine. So we're gonna slowly start to bring the elbows out. And your hands can leave your sides if that's where they are. You might take a little shoulder roll, wiggle. So our feet are still out wide. We're gonna lean back a little bit again. We're gonna try to just shine the soles of our feet together as we let our knees open wide. So this is like a really wide butterfly. You can be leaning back, or maybe you're able to sit tall and maybe even take a tip forwards. But if you want your feet to get closer together, they can. This feels a little different with the feet really wide. So you can adjust. You could even add a little bit of a sway side to side with the upper body. Just letting the knees fall out. And maybe the soles of the feet are facing one another. Being a little weird today. If you are tipping forwards, if you are leaning back, maybe come back to a neutral place so that you can bring your knees in and bring them all the way together. Give them a squeeze, give them a hug. We're gonna come over into tabletop, onto our hands and knees. So find your way onto your hands, onto your knees. You might wanna give your hips a little bit more of a sway, side to side, shake it out a little bit. Then we're gonna be reaching our arms out in front. Our hands can come out wide if you want them to. The closer your hands are together, the deeper your shoulder stretch is, your puppy dog stretch is. So if you want to join me with wide hands today, keep your hips high, melt your chest down. If you want to grab your pillow, you can grab your pillow for your forehead or your chest. Just letting an inhale lift you up slowly. We're going to slide onto our tummies as gracefully as we can. You can tuck your elbows underneath your shoulders. Let your palms face down. Start to squeeze your glutes. Push your hips down into your mat a little bit. You can keep your hands about shoulder width apart, or you can bring them wider, maybe to the edges of the mat. And then if you did want to lift your elbows for seal, you can do that too, but squeeze your glutes. Push your hips down. Soften your shoulders. Let them fall from your ears. Feel the love through your back, maybe your belly. Stay for another inhale here. And then as you exhale, you can slowly lower. Stack your palms, maybe give your hips a little bit of a sway, side to side. And then we're going to bring our left arm out to the side. In line with the shoulder, palm facing down. You can stay on your belly, or you can roll onto your left side, any amount. If you did roll onto your left side, you can start to come back onto your belly. Moving your left arm in, maybe stack your palms for a moment, maybe sway your hips. And then switching sides when you're ready. Your right arm can go out, palm down, hand in line with your shoulders best you can. Stay on your belly or roll onto your right side. If you are on your side, you can start to make your way back onto your tummy again. Stacking your palms. Resting your forehead, maybe taking a little bit of a sway side to side. You can start to move your hands under your shoulders when you're ready, though. We're going to push ourselves back all the way into child's pose, so you can bring your knees out wide, big toes together. If you want to lay on your pillow, you can. Or maybe you're just going to bring your chest down, your forehead all the way to your mat, or your arms even. You can stay here folding forwards a little longer, but if you wanted to lift up and sit back on your heels more, your big toes might be lightly touching. You might sit all the way back onto the heels. You might lean back further and try to float your knees. Let your knees stay wide if possible. Maybe your hands are on the ground behind you. Maybe they're lightly resting on your knees. Feeling the ankles, maybe the shins. And then you can slowly, slowly bring your feet back down. Hands can find the ground as well. Lift your hips off your heels so that you can bring your knees back in. If you do need to give your ankles a little bit of a sway, you can add that in as well. We're gonna sit down though, just in any comfy seat. Now we have done some hip stuff, so if butterfly with your feet together feels comfy, you can sit like this. But I want you to lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders, and we're gonna let our chin tip forwards towards the collarbone. Bringing some length into the back of the neck, and then you might roll your head slowly over towards your right shoulder. And then bringing your chin back down, and you can roll your head to the other side. And just go back over slowly to your right shoulder. And one more time, over to the left. You can let your chin come down to the collarbone and pause there for a moment. And as you lift your chin back up, well, you might bring your knees together if they are out wide in butterfly. Give your knees a hug, a squeeze, a smile. Awesome practice, you guys. That is it. That is all for today. Thank you so, so much for joining me. Feel free to go to Shavasana from here or carry on with your day. But until next time,